coming to this workshop, and I'm really excited to present this information to you because it's definitely going to change a lot of your beliefs and perceptions about what entrepreneurship is and what it can do for you and your life. And so who is this workshop for? Well, it's for coachable, decisive, and self-motivated, aspiring but current entrepreneurs that want to escape the rat race, reclaim their time freedom. No, I wish that sentence was underlined, but it's reclaim their time freedom and start living life on their own terms. And so just setting the stage a little bit is that despite their great ambitions, many aspiring entrepreneurs, they'll procrastinate on their ideas, decide to wait until it's perfect to start their business. And I found this statistic to be very, very interesting that supposedly in 2018, I think it's a little bit that it's increased, but 3 out of 5 people say they want to start businesses. So what this is really saying that is that a lot of people, they want more out of their lives because their jobs are just unfulfilling. Like Gallup is one of the most reputable pollsters out there. And when they recorded in 2021 that 85% of all employees were disengaged with their jobs, like that's pretty alarming. Because if you're just clocking in and clocking out of your job just to get a check, that's a problem because most of us, we give the best of our lives to the jobs that we have because we spend most of our time working. But what's really interesting, and I'm sure some of y'all heard the breaking news this past week, but a local company called Group Insurance laid off 25% of their staff. And you also have these Zoom layoffs, and we know inflation's going up. So right now, there's a lot of economic instability for people. And so one of the ways to mitigate that economic instability and to take more control of your life is to build a lifestyle business. And so what exactly is a lifestyle business? Well, a lifestyle business is a business that's built for the founder, around the founder, that places more of an emphasis on time freedom than financial freedom. Because the fun fact is that if you're not making money, you're not in business. So why are people talking about money so much? Yes, the 6-figure mark, that's kind of like the market standard for success. So that's why I included this within this program. But in all actuality, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how you make the money that you make that's more important. Because there's a lot of people making 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures that are burnt out because they can't enjoy the money that they're making because they didn't build their business the right way. And so a lifestyle business is really, really unique because it provides 3 things that not a lot of other business models do. Number 1 is just more security. And this isn't just about controlling your career, because as I was talking with this gentleman, a lot of us have had different careers in our lives. Your career is never going to be consistent. But the thing that you want to have control over is your life and who you become and how you use your time. A lifestyle business gives you that opportunity. Secondly, is sustainability. You can control your growth. Because like I said, a lifestyle business is built around the founder. So you can control how quickly you want to grow personally and professionally. You can be like myself. I'm a solopreneur. I don't have any employees. If I do work with people, I contract them out. But if you do want to bring on employees and have W-2s that you want to have for your business, you can do that. But it's up to you to control the growth that you want. But then last but not least, which is more important, is that you have stability. You can't fire yourself. I know. We learned from Steve Jobs, structure your company so that you own it and you own it in totality. And so as a lifestyle entrepreneur, you get security, sustainability, and stability, which not a lot of employees or even other entrepreneurs have. And so in this workshop, you're going to learn 3 main things. Number 1 is how to overcome the fear of failure and find your zone of genius. Number 2 is how to discover, test, and validate your dream lifestyle business opportunity. And then 3rd is also how to establish founder market fit and become a successful entrepreneur. And so, just to introduce myself, my name is Craig. I'm a business strategist, and I really focus on helping burnt-out entrepreneurs to escape the hustle. Because I mentioned the corporate rat race, but the entrepreneurs, they go through the entrepreneur hustle, help them to escape that and build 6-figure lifestyle businesses. So I've been a full-time business coach and strategist since 2019. I've worked with over 50 different clients in 12 different countries. And from what they reported, because a lot of my clients, they run private businesses, and I've helped them to generate over $3.7 million in revenue. But also, with collaborating with Steve, I love, being a part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Ohio, in the US, and around the world. And I'm actively, coached and mentored over 100 different entrepreneurs. And so this snapshot's really interesting because you see, about 8 to 9 different different companies represented, 4 different countries. But the thing is that all these business models are different. They're from different industries. And so kind of what I've developed is the secret sauce to understand that there's principles in business. Every entrepreneur is going to go through founder market fit, language market fit, product market fit, systems market fit. You can't avoid that. So I see myself as focusing more on the principles of business instead of the techniques of business. Because the techniques are only going to be applicable to individuals. But these business principles, like building a business model, applies to everybody. But even more so than having experience as a strategist, I've also been a serial entrepreneur. Fun fact, don't make fun of me, but at the age of 15, I was a DJ, team DJ here in Columbus. I DJed at the Continent off of 71. And it's probably just collecting dust right now. My name was DJ Absolute Craig, and I still DJ through college after I lost my football scholarship to make ends meet. Then afterwards, I served in the Peace Corps in Peru, and I immigrated back by myself and opened up the country's first foreign-owned distillery. And then in 2018, I found myself working in project management, hated it, quit my job because it was too stressful, and I got into blockchain and launched travel visa processing company, and was bought out by my co-founder. And so after that, is when I moved back to Ohio in 2019, wrote my book, Birds of a Dream, which won the best entrepreneurship book of 2020 at the American Book Fest. And then I got involved in doing things like this, like being an author and a speaker, and I love speaking to students, teachers, and working professionals like yourselves. And so when I wrote my book, Birds of a Dream, I realized that I had to redefine what entrepreneurship was to me. And I wrote in the book that a creative entrepreneur is anyone who takes a calculated risk to create something out of nothing and share it with the world. And so I wrote that definition so broad because so many people just think entrepreneurship is about creating a business, a product, process, or service. But as a lifestyle entrepreneur, the number one thing that you can create is the life that you live. Because your life is a business and you're the byproduct of that business, whether you know it or not. And so this really kind of laid the foundation for my coaching philosophy, which is based on the following 5 words, which are become the entrepreneur of your life. But what's interesting is when you kind of go on this trajectory, most people go through 4 phases. Number 1 is analysis paralysis. So this is where a lot of people here could be. It's where you're kind of overthinking and you're processing whether or not I should go into entrepreneurship full time. But then eventually, hopefully after today, you get to the starting point where you're starting to brainstorm various business ideas and you're taking more steps further to becoming an entrepreneur. But then ultimately, everybody hits the crossroads. And this is where they launch their business and they start to get trapped in the hustle and they start to get burned out. And you have to decide whether you're going to commit or quit. And so I really see myself as the Sherpa taking people, from kind of this valley of corporate rat race despair and getting to the mountaintop of freedom where you have your 6-figure lifestyle business, but you're living life on your own terms. And so to me, that's the definition of freedom that lifestyle entrepreneurs, live by. It's you work with who you want, with whom you want, how you want, and what's better than that? And so, but before any entrepreneur can become an entrepreneur, they have to answer this question. And I call it the founder's conundrum. And it says, am I the right person in the right position to solve the right problem for the right people in the right way? But what's really interesting about this conundrum is that it's kind of like a cycle. There's questions hidden within a question. Number 1, am I the right person? Well, the question you're really asking yourself is, what are my qualifications for this business opportunity? Because the fun fact is, if you bring nothing to the table as an entrepreneur, you'll fail, or it will be harder for you to succeed. So you have to make sure that you choose the right business opportunity that matches your skills and talents. Next, the second question is, in the right position. So the question you're really asking yourself is this the appropriate time to launch this business opportunity? Because timing is everything. If you present something to the market and the market's not ready, not a lot of people are going to buy it. So eventually, you'll fail. The third question is to solve the right problem. And what you're really asking yourself is there a large enough demand for this opportunity? Because if people don't want what you're selling, you're not going to sell anything. So you have to assess the demand of your business before you go into it. And then question number 4, for the right people. What you're really asking yourself is have I identified the customer base for this business opportunity? And fun fact, a lot of people skip the customer discovery process. They want to go straight to product market fit and start selling something. Well, who are you selling to? If you don't know who you're selling to, you will fail. But then the most important question is in the right way. And so the question you really ask yourself is can I provide what the market wants for this business opportunity? And so one of the toughest lessons I had to learn as an entrepreneur is that entrepreneurs don't define market value. The market defines market value. And people only buy what they want. Like they can be out of shape and need to eat a salad, but if they want a cheeseburger, they're gonna buy a cheeseburger. If you're not selling cheeseburgers, you're not gonna be in business. So you gotta give the market what they want. If not, nobody's gonna buy from you. And so, you like quotes? So this is probably one of my favorite quotes because so many entrepreneurs, when they want to really get into this process, they're confused. They're confused. They're like, okay, what type of business should I start? Why do I want to become an entrepreneur? And as much as I love Simon Sinek, when he says starts with why, he's wrong. Because until you know who you are, you can't really understand why you do what you do. So you have to figure out who you are. And in order to begin this process, you must first look within yourself. Because if you're a lifestyle entrepreneur, the business is built around you. So if you don't know who you are, you can't start the process. And so now we're about to get into the fun of this workshop, which is actually filling out the lifestyle business blueprint. And so what exactly is the lifestyle business blueprint? Well, it's a simple tool that helps entrepreneurs to discover their dream lifestyle business opportunity. And so there's a couple of primary uses. Number 1 is self-discovery and analysis. As I said, in order to begin, you must first look within. Like, it's a very introspective tool. And so this tool helps you to really discover, okay, what am I bringing to the table as an entrepreneur? Secondly, it's just creative ideation and brainstorming. Like, in order to behave like an entrepreneur, you have to think like an entrepreneur. So this tool helps you to think like an entrepreneur. And then thirdly, it helps you to establish a market position. Because once you discover your dream lifestyle business opportunity, that's going to establish your position in the market. But there's also a couple of benefits. Number 1, like I said, most people, when they start as an entrepreneur, they're confused. Well, this tool is going to give you clarity and focus when you discover, okay, this is probably the best opportunity that I should pursue. Next is that you get strategic direction. Because when you know how you need to start, then you can figure out where do I need to go. This tool helps with that. But then most important and last but not least is that by using this tool, it will help you to achieve this thing called founder market fit, which I'll explain later in this presentation. And so it's a really easy tool to use, and it's only going to take us about 10 minutes to complete it. And so when you look at the lifestyle business blueprint, you notice it's kind of like a Venn diagram. It has 3 main circles. Well, those are the 3 inputs. So those inputs are, number 1, my skills, number 2, my passions, but then what's most important is a section entitled market demand. Because like I said, if nobody wants what you're selling, you're not in business. But before I can really get into starting to fill out this worksheet, I want to really address the 4 potential outcomes that could happen when you fill out this blueprint. Because 3 of them are traps, but then 1 of them is your target. And that's going to be the intersections of your skills, passions, and market demand. And so the first possible outcome is entitled burnout blues. So this is the least dangerous trap to be in. And so in this outcome, your skills and market demand are in alignment, but you're lacking in passions. So here in this scenario, you just don't love what you do. So you're like one of those people clocking in and clocking out of their full-time jobs. But the problem is that you don't have megacorp to pay your bills. As an entrepreneur, everything's on you. So if you don't love what you do, yeah, you may be making money, but eventually you'll burn out because entrepreneurship is a process. And so I call this scenario the bitter maker. You have a guy who's great at baking. People may love his cookies, but he hates running a bakery. I don't think he'll be in business for too long if he doesn't enjoy running his business the way he should. You don't want to be there. Now, the second most dangerous trap is entitled poor product. So this is where your passions and market demand are in alignment, but you're lacking your skills. A lot of entrepreneurs fall into this trap because they believe, oh, I just have to follow my passions, just find what I love. But the thing is, if you're not bringing any skills to the table, you're going to produce a poor product. So in this scenario, you're just not good at what you do. So this scenario is a bad baker. You have a guy trying to run a bakery, instead of his chocolate chip cookies tasting like chocolate chips, they taste like charcoal briquettes. You can't sell cookies that are burned up. Like, you're just bad at what you do. So you don't want to be here. But then the worst place to be, where a lot of entrepreneurs do find themselves, is the nobody notices trap. So this is where their passions and skills are in alignment, but they're lacking market demand. So essentially here is that people just don't want what you do. And so the scenario here is the broke baker. You may have a guy who's great at baking, he may love baking, but for some reason the market isn't ready or doesn't want what he's selling. So he's sitting in his bakery by himself for 3 months until his business closes. You don't want to be there. And so through this framework, the ideal place where you want to be is at the intersections of your skills, passions, and market demand. And so here, you and the market are in harmony, because the only way to make money is to create value for the market. And when you're creating something that the market wants, they'll gladly pay you for it. And so in this scenario, a blissful baker. He loves what he does, he's great at what he does, and the market wants what he does. And so this is where you want to position yourself when using this framework. And so just to give another quote, just to kind of give you a little stimulation before we get into this workshop, is that there are people that are less qualified than you who are doing the things that you want to do simply because they believed in themselves. And so if you don't take anything away from this workshop, just know that, like, you will never succeed as an entrepreneur if you don't first believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, why should I buy from you? You're not going to be confident. You're not going to show up filled up. So you got to believe in yourself. And so with that being said, let's pull out our blueprints and let's start to fill them out section by section. So the first section we're going to start off with is entitled My Skills. And so in this section, I want you to describe the natural or learned abilities that allow you to perform at a high level with minimal effort. So there's a couple of questions you want to ask yourself. Number one, what am I great at doing? Number two, what are my top skill sets? And then number three, what are my areas of expertise? And so the pro tip is just to think about the things that come easy for you. So like I said, you want to list out your top 3 skills that you could build a business around. And so this is a tool that I use to help me become who I am today. And so when I looked at my top 3 skills, the one that stood out for me was my 15 years experience, as a successful entrepreneur. So like I said, for you, what are your top 3 skills that you could build a business around? I give you a minute to do that. If you get confused, you need to look at those kind of 3 sub-questions that kind of point you in the right direction. Well, all of us are great at some things. So what are they? One of my mentors told me, he said, Craig, when you ask the right questions, you'll get the right answers. But what you notice is that most people don't ask themselves these types of questions. They don't know who they are. So. It's simple. Just 3 email boxes. 30 seconds. We'll move on to section 2, which is entitled My Passions. So, like I said before, passion without direction leads to confusion. So this is why combining your skills and your passions are so important, because passions on their own won't take you too far. But in this section, I want you to describe the hobbies, work, and jobs that bring you joy, happiness, and a sense of pleasure. And so a couple of questions to ask yourself. Number one, what do I love to do? Secondly, what type of work does not feel like work? And then thirdly, what do I do in my spare time? And the pro tip here is just to think about your dream job or occupation. So just like with the section entitled skills, here I want you to list your top 3 passions that you could build a business around. And so when I look within myself and I assess my top 3 passions, the one that stood out the most was teaching and helping people. No accident why I'm doing this today. So for you, what are the top 3 passions that you have that you could or potentially already have built a business around? About 30 more seconds. All right, moving on to section 3. This is entitled Buy Opportunities. And so here, you're going to describe the type of lifestyle businesses that you can build around both your skills and passions. And so a couple of sub-questions to ask yourself. Number one is, do I love what I'm great at doing? Secondly, how can I align my skills with my passions? And then thirdly, can I envision myself making a living doing this? So the pro tip here is just to think about some of your current side hustles, hobbies, and even paid work. And so your business opportunities are going to appear when you combine your top 3 skills with your top 3 passions. And so for me, when I applied my top skill of being a successful entrepreneur with my top passion of teaching and helping people, that's how I was like, oh, maybe I should become a business strategist or business coach. It wasn't by accident. It was very, very intentional. So what happens when you combine your top 3 skills with your top 3 passions? What 3 business opportunities appear when you do that? Give you a minute to figure that out. Does all this make sense so far?
Yeah.
Simple. About 30 more seconds.
I think it's interesting. It's simple, but not like people don't often go through it.
It's simple, but it's not easy.
Yes, yes.
It's just like with business.
Yeah.
It's really simple to build a business, but it's not easy. I love that you brought that up because there's a fine line between us two.
Yeah.
Cool. So moving on to section 4, which is probably the most important section within this framework. It's entitled Market Demand. And so I'm sure you're asking yourself, well, we're just doing an exercise. How can I assess the market demand for an idea that doesn't exist? Well, simple. So what I want you to do is to describe the current existing businesses that are comparable to your lifestyle business opportunities. So really here, we're going to reverse engineer market demand. And so a couple of questions to ask yourself are, number one, do these lifestyle business opportunities already exist? Secondly, what are some of the similar businesses that are like my lifestyle business opportunities? And then thirdly, are customers already buying from these existing businesses? And so the pro tip here is just to think about some of the similar products and services that customers are currently buying. And so when I assess the market demand for my first lifestyle business opportunity of becoming a business strategist or business coach, I realized very, very quickly that there's plenty of other business coaches, strategists, and consultants in the market. Entrepreneurs are always going to have problems. So I knew immediately that this was a business idea that was feasible because there was already a lot of market demand for business strategists like I wanted to become. So for you, when you assess the market demand for each of your top 3 lifestyle business opportunities, what are the comparable existing alternatives that you can identify that would help to validate the demand for the lifestyle business opportunity? Because fun fact, competition can be good. Because competition validates that there is a market for what you plan to do. Because if you're trying to create a market, it's very, very expensive. Education costs.
That's why I like McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, they're all next to each other.
Yeah, there's a market for it.
And these,
That's
like
a-
all these restaurants.
That's
Yeah.
a competition right there. Like, and most of the big restaurants you see, they're in the biggest plaza or like the biggest street in the state. You know what I mean? Like, say for example, like McDonald's. You see McDonald's, you see them in the biggest streets in the cities and stuff. Because they mostly not looking for people to buy McDonald's. It's the real estate they're doing, like
Yeah.
the ground they're at. You know what I mean? Where most of the people come. You know? Yeah.
And it's not by accident. Because they've taken this to like the nth power.
Because I was reading about the guy that owns McDonald's. He was at a seminar, and he asked the students, like, you know what I do for a living? They said, you sell burgers. He's like, no, my biggest thing is real estate, where I buy like most of my stuff in the busiest streets of the world. You know, that's how they make money. You know?
Well, that's his business model,
Yeah.
which is why they're so successful. Because it's a proactive, profitable, proven business model, which is what I help people to build, because you need that. So, moving forward, we're going to get to section number 5, which is my dream lifestyle business. Because we all know you can't launch 3 businesses at the same time. Well, you can, but good luck. As Steve and I know, launching one business is hard enough. So, what you're going to do in this section is you're going to describe, or better yet, choose your most feasible and viable lifestyle business opportunity.
I'm sorry. I feel like maybe, and it depends on what type of business. I mean, like, for example, like I'm learning how to be a trader,
Okay.
like a Forex trader, right? I'm not actually learning the guys. I'm a trader. Because I'm in for 1.5 years, and finally I have ability and a skill set that can make me money from my phone. So technically, as a trader, I can be watching my phone chart, and that's a form of business where I don't need, which is what you're saying, it's my skill set, that what I'm good at. So I don't know, I believe that while I'm planning on trying to create other businesses, I can still make my income from being a trader, you know, without have to put too much time and energy into it, because I have already put time and energy into it 1.5 years of going to the school, learning. But now when I'm done with that, I believe that I can just create my income without have to do anything, just being at home and working on other goals.
That's feasible. But just know
Reasonable,
that you're
right?
just distracting yourself from other things.
Yes.
And when you're launching, like I said, the whole methodology is like when you're launching from scratch. When you don't have any, supplementary things to back you up.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. You're right. So, in this section, you're going to ask yourself these 3 supplementary questions. Number 1, where can I be the most innovative, creative, and value-added? Secondly, where do I have the highest chance of beating the competition? And then thirdly, have I already made money doing this? And so the point of here is that you want to think about the lifestyle business opportunity that brings you the most confidence. And so for me, it was a no-brainer. Like 15 years experience as a successful entrepreneur plus my passion for teaching and helping people made me so excited to pursue becoming a business strategist. So for you, out of the 3 lifestyle business opportunities that you've identified, what is the one that stands out the most to you? Pick one. But do it with intention. Another 30 seconds. You'll see why this intention will be beneficial to you. All right. So literally, that's as simple, like I said, it's a simple tool to use. Might not be easy because a lot of people, they don't ask themselves these questions, ever. And so once you get done with the lifestyle business blueprint, you should have identified, your dream lifestyle business. And so by going through that process, this helps position you to achieve this thing called founder market fit. And so founder market fit can be defined as when entrepreneurs display the expertise and aptitude to successfully launch their business ideas. Because fun fact, this applies to lifestyle entrepreneurship, and if you want to, start like a high-tech startup. The number one thing like all investors look for, Steve can quote me if I'm wrong, but they look at the founder first. It's not necessarily the idea. They want to know that you have what it takes to make this business something real. Because if you're not qualified to do that, you're not going to get a check. It's the same with lifestyle entrepreneurship. Like if you're not bringing anything to the table, it's just going to make it that much harder for you to get through the process of entrepreneurship. And so what is founder market fit? Well, you can achieve founder market fit by choosing a lifestyle business opportunity where you have 1, experience, which is deep knowledge of your craft. Secondly, is capability, the willingness to innovate and add value. And then thirdly, purpose, a burning desire to succeed. And so the pro tip here is just to think about what makes you qualified to start this lifestyle business opportunity. Well, because you use the lifestyle business blueprint, you should have all 3 of those things. Because you got the skills, you have the experience, you have the capability, you have the passion, you have the purpose. And so this is just kind of like a safety check. And so when I reassessed, okay, is this concept of becoming a business strategist the right thing for me? No brainer. I got the skills. I got the passion. I'm way more than qualified to start this business as being a business strategist. Plus, I've been coaching for 10 years unofficially, and I didn't even notice. Fun fact, my first clients were prisoners at the age of 19 in Birmingham, Alabama. So I started off working with some interesting characters. But like I said, using this lifestyle business blueprint, it doesn't 100% validate you, but it positions you to achieve founder market fit quicker than if you didn't use this tool. Because fun fact, you only know if you can achieve founder market fit when you actually launch your business. And so that leads into the next quote. And this is just something people should really understand, is that everything you believe to be true is a theory unless proven otherwise. And so what we've been doing here is like, yeah, we've been working out a worksheet, we've been going through these exercises, but it's just a theory. You have to go out in the real world and prove that this is real. And so the only way you can go out and prove that this opportunity is a viable and profitable opportunity is to leverage this thing I call the entrepreneurial scientific method. And so it's a simple 4-step process. Learn, build, measure, and repeat. Or it's hypothesize, test, and analyze. And so as you're going through this entrepreneurial process, everything you have in your mind is an idea. It's a hypothesis, it's a theory. The only way you're gonna know if this lifestyle business opportunity is real is to go out and test the market, to get feedback and get data that's gonna tell you whether or not it's a green light, which is good, a red light, which is bad, or a yellow light, which is, maybe you're inconclusive. And so, talking about doing this, you can start this while working a full-time job. Because you don't want to go all in on just a business that hasn't been validated. Until you have, like I said, a profitable, proactive, and proven business model, you probably don't want to go all in, especially if it hasn't generated enough income to help you to leave your job. So like I said, everything is very, very, very strategic, when you go through this process. And so this is another Venn diagram, since I love the diagrams, that simply explains this. So you have your minimal viable audience. So this is like your early adopters, the people who hey, I'd love to try out whatever, you're selling. But then you give them a minimal viable product, which is not this piece of junk or piece of garbage that's super cheap that you're just getting out to the market. No, it's something that you put some effort and energy into building. But eventually you can't die with ideas in your mind. A lot of entrepreneurs do that. Or they kind of have this analysis process where they're too scared. Well, the only way you're going to figure out if it's something the market wants is to test it out on the market. So when you combine your minimal viable audience with your minimal viable product, that's when you get the data that's going to tell you, hey, does this work? Does this not? Or maybe. So this is the process. It's super simple. And so in sum, there's 3 things I want you to take away from this workshop. Is that number 1, that your dream lifestyle business opportunity can be discovered at the intersections of your skills, passions, and market demand. The second is that achieving founder market fit is the first step to becoming a successful entrepreneur. Like I said, it's founder market fit, language market fit, product market fit, and systems market fit. Most people skip over founder market fit and language market fit to go to product market fit. So they just want to go out and sell something. Well, if you skip those other 2 steps, you're going to fail because you're going to produce something that the market probably doesn't want. So when you skip steps, you skip lessons, and when you skip lessons, you skip learnings, and when you skip learnings, nothing happens. And then thirdly, the entrepreneurial scientific method is a simple 4-step process of learning, building, measuring, and repeating, or hypothesizing, testing, analyzing, and repeating. And so, another one is that whenever you're trailblazing a new path, the answers to your questions will be revealed if you keep moving forward 1 step at a time. And this is what gets so many entrepreneurs scared, is they think that everything has to be lined up. Entrepreneurship is not a straight line. It's all over the place. All you have to know is that your next best step reveals your next best step. But in order to get your next best step, you have to take what?
Calculate the risk.
Best step, that calculated risk. Remember that. Because there's always a risk involved. Nothing is guaranteed unless you're buying a McDonald's, but even that doesn't prove that you're gonna win. So, and then, like I said, no entrepreneur is self-made, nobody is. And, we've all had help getting to where we wanna be in life. And I have had help getting to where I'm at personally, because in order for me to get to where I'm at with my specific business, I hired other coaches to help me out because I needed it. But what you notice is that the majority of the people that I hired, they don't look like me. They're different. I worked with women primarily, but women from different backgrounds. And so another big thing I want you to take away from this presentation is just the valued perspectives of other people. Because when you just work with people that only come from your background or from your own beliefs, you might not grow as quickly as you should. And I intentionally hired people different than me to bring in perspectives that I didn't have that helped me go from 0 to 1 a lot faster than I could have done by myself. So obviously, I'm a business strategist. I love helping out entrepreneurs like themselves. And so I'd love to help y'all make this dream lifestyle business into a reality. Because as I said, your entrepreneurial, what everybody thinks is oh, this is just gonna be easy. This is just gonna be a flat race from here to 6 figures overnight.
Oh.
Nah, The reality of entrepreneurship looks just like that. But it doesn't have to be like that forever. Because you don't have to be hustling every day. You don't have to be working 18 hours. You don't have to be burning out. You don't need 50,000 streams of income. The path to get you from your current reality to your desired future reality is a business model. Because a business model is a proactive, profitable, and proven system that consistently creates customer value. And when you consistently create customer value, people will pay for that value. That's how you build a business. But the people who are stuck hustling, they're the people that don't make it, because eventually they'll burn out. Because a burnt out entrepreneur is disorganized, underpaid, and overwhelmed building their business. You can only handle that so long before you're just like, hey, I'm done. So this is why you gotta build a business model. And this is what I help people do. So my last quote of the day. But if I wasn't afraid of a tattoo needle, this is the thing I would put on my chest.
Actually, I agree.
Because it's so important. In capitalism, money is infinite. Like there's a bajillion ways to make money. You know, you look at NFTs, people are selling nothing for millions of dollars. Like money's never gonna go anywhere. But the one resource you'll never get back
Time.
Time.
is your time.
And I was I write a lot.
Yeah.
So I was writing like a few weeks ago about like time and stuff, right? And it's crazy how things like you start to value things more different. And like billionaires, you know, like to count, I was doing little math and stuff, like to count to 1 million seconds is 11 days, right?
Oh, damn.
To count to a billion seconds is 32 years.
Oh, really?
So that's the difference between a billion and a million, you know? And that's why you see more, that's why when you see billionaires, they're more old because it took them a long time to get there, you know? It's the difference between that. So that tells you like you're supposed to value your time real good, you know?
I agree.
Utilize it different, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I've worked for people that has had more money than you dream of. So many of them were miserable. I couldn't enjoy it. You know, why are you texting me at 3 a.m. to go work? Because you haven't built your business right away. People associate, unfortunately, a lot of money with success. I'll give you some extra fun facts. Money is not a litmus of success in business.
I agree.
Because you have 3 types of businesses. You have the dysfunctionally functional, the functionally functional, and then the exceptionally functional. I would say 80% of businesses are dysfunctionally functional. Yeah, they're making money, but it works, but it doesn't work well. It works poorly. Then you have the functionally functional, probably 15% of businesses, and they work. Then you have the very few, like the top 5% that are effectively functional. And these are when the people can choose whether or not they want to work because they have their systems so on point. So the dysfunctionally functional businesses, entrepreneurs are trapped working in their businesses. They just created a new job for themselves and they're burnt out. The functionally functional are entrepreneurs who are working on their business. So they might have a team or they have a business model that's in the works. But then you want to get to the effectively functional where you can say, hey, I want to work or I don't want to work. Because I have a business model that does the heavy lifting for me, whether it's by myself or I got other people executing. And so, you know, like a program that I have that corresponds with this is called my Lifestyle Business Bootcamp. And so it's a 10-step, 90-day program that's designed to help, you know, entrepreneurs launch their lifestyle businesses and build a business model that gets them to that 6-figure level. And so, like I said, I've worked with a lot of different entrepreneurs. You know, Shannon, she runs a tech company called FanSaves based out of Canada. Rima, he runs a logistics company in Ghana. And both of them were stellar clients. And then another client, he runs a healthcare company in Washington, D.C. And then Lauren, she has a video production company. So like I said, I work with entrepreneurs from different walks of life, different backgrounds, but the principles are all the same. You gotta build a business model. And particularly as a lifestyle entrepreneur, it has to be built the right way. So like I said, I'd love to chat with everybody after, after this workshop's done. I'm gonna send all of y'all a follow-up email with the PowerPoint slides, and also another digital copy of this worksheet. But if you're really interested in just discussing more about becoming a lifestyle entrepreneur, or if you're interested in applying for the bootcamp, let me know. I can send you the link and they'll give you an application, and we can hop on a call to see if it's a good fit for you. So I really, really hope you enjoyed this workshop. Hopefully it's changed your perspective on entrepreneurship and how you live your life. And I always love questions. So the first question I have is,
Hey.
what was most useful for you? So thanks so much.
Oh. Oh, you asking me?
No, I said, did anybody have any questions
Oh.
or any insights?
Oh, yeah, the question is the boot camp for like, how many days is that? Like, kind of give me a little detail.
So a 90-day program, so it's 10
I mean,
modules.
like, weekend, weekdays?
It's all based upon your schedule.
Oh, cool,
So typically we meet once a week,
okay.
weekly. So like I said, 10 steps, so 10 weeks. 1 or 2 of the modules might take you a little longer, but it's typically a 90-day program.
Yeah,
What is the goal at the end of that boot camp then? What situation will we be in?
You have your business model built. So you'll have all the systems and processes built around whatever your lifestyle business opportunity is. And you will have gone out, you will have discovered it, you will have tested it, and you will have validated it. So you know that it works.
Craig, I think you also have a workbook, correct, in a book, right? We wanted to offer to provide copies of those, so buy those and then provide those to our guests today.
So this is what the
So,
workbook looks like.
yeah,
The book is somewhere hidden.
Oh,
perfect. Well,
Yeah.
so, we'd love to be able to provide that for everybody who came today as a thank you, and then also a great way to stay in touch with Craig and continue to learn.
oh, thank you.
So, absolutely. So we'll grab information and whatnot so we can just send it right to you. But, there you go. Yes.
Oh,
This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the book of work.
The book, Burdens and Dreams, great book, is an entrepreneur story of Craig's journey that he went through with entrepreneurship. So how he, went from playing football, getting hurt, going to Peace Corps, getting into another country, discovering an opportunity, launching that business, the successes and the pitfalls of that. But writes it very in a novelistic way where it's going through a story, right? So you're not like just looking at like a biography of Craig. It's this entrepreneurial journey that's making you think about some of the highlights that he's up to today. And so then he's got a workbook that he pairs with it. So each of you guys we'll get a copy, we'll get information, we'll send those directly to you. So as a thank you for coming out to the Entrepreneur Summit event.
Is it a digital copy?
No, it's print copy, just like he's got there. We'll ship it from Amazon, so directly to you all.
One of the chapters is called The Power of the Pivot. You gotta write stuff down.
Yeah.
I write a lot. Good. You'll fill it all the way up.
well, that's awesome.
Cool. So any more questions, comments? Or was it so straightforward, you guys?
What's the language product fit or whatever, language market fit?
Okay, so founder market fit is just what we went through. Okay, am I qualified to start this business opportunity? Language market fit is customer discovery. So who are my customers? What are their problems? What are their pains? But most importantly, how are they articulating those problems and pains to the real world? Because once you understand what your customers are going through, then you can figure out how to market to them to say, hey, this is how I can help you. But you have to do it in their language. And so people always skip the customer discovery process. And this is why the marketing sucks. This is why when people put out certain material, it doesn't resonate with people. But I'm sure all of us have seen commercials or advertisements that like struck a chord. It's because they did language market fit perfect. Then product market fit is solution problem. So the way I look at entrepreneurship is that every customer has a problem. Your product or service is a solution to them. And so when people willingly buy your product, you have product market fit. And then the systems market fit is the last part of the boot camp. It's like, okay, now you have all that, but how do we do that consistently and effectively and efficiently? That's where the business model is really good. Any other questions? Cool. Well, like I said, thank you all so much for coming. I'll send everybody a follow-up email with this presentation, the links to the programs, links to the Hop On Discovery Call, and love to see y'all again. So thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.